back from the desk below. As you can see, the man himself this time. This is a one-on-one session right now. He's actually the most documented artist on the show. This is his 6th appearance on the show. And, man, I wouldn't want anyone else to be the most documented artist on the show. And I'm going to keep documenting him until y'all know him. But y'all going to know him pretty soon. He's been full of surprises, full of this year alone. So for further introductions, I have the one and only MRK Sucks, Mark Sucks, Michigan Rapkin, Sock Monster. He goes by a lot of aliases.
Hey, man, this the 6th time?
Yes, sir. I counted.
Wow. Because you got to count in the times with Tone Beats, right?
I did. Yes, sir. And I counted the other time with DatFeelin when we all did that Zoom video debut.
Okay. I got you. So, but we had 3 solo interviews before.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wow, man. Hey, man, it's a pleasure to be back, man. I am so proud of you, man. Like I'm so proud of you, bro. Like I just am, man. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. I'm not
I am.
Anything. No, man. Nah, man. Nah. And it's not even congratulations are in order just for hanging in there, man. Just for hanging in there, bro. People don't know what it takes to do anything. Making it look easy is the hard part. And so people, the number one thing people ask me about you is how can he, right? Like it always starts with like how can he, and everything. My answer usually is everything's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? He can because that's part of his gifting. So you might think his gifting is doing interviews when truth be told, his gifting might just be connecting with people. You know what I'm saying? And because he's gifted at connecting with people, then interviews come. You see what I'm saying? So it's people think your gift is one thing. You know what I mean? I always tell people that my specific gift is I can always find another way. You know what I mean? Like I have a resilience. I've always had it since a kid. Like there's always another way to do something. And that's what I believe my gift is I don't even know how to give up. Like I don't even because I've tried. I've tried. So, and I see that in you. You know what I mean? And there's very few people that I've met in my life that have that in their DNA. You know what I mean? That they truly have that spirit that just will not allow them to stop doing what they're doing, man. So it's a pleasure to know you. You know what I mean? And I'm sure it always will be, my guy.
Hey, same to you, my guy, man. You are a hell of an artist, man. You've been dropping surprise after one another. Let's get into, you randomly dropped your albums. You first started with Announcements Overrated first, as opposed to LBrick Road to the public for the hear.
Right.
What made you want to do that?
So last year, the record label, we put a huge task in front of us, which was to flood the market at the end of 2019. After a year of promoting and doing various things, and a lot of people forget, I actually dropped 3 albums last year. I dropped the Sock Monster in March.
Right, I forgot about that.
The Sock Monster dropped in March and came with videos for everything.
Yes,
right?
Sir. Except for Listen. I'm still waiting on that video.
Right. And then I dropped Hello Tomorrow.
Yes.
Right.
With Tone Beats.
Last year, yeah. So last year started with Hello Tomorrow. Then it went to the Sock Monster. Right. And then after that, we got really heavy into promotion. I did a little bit of touring. And then I was doing a lot of work behind the scenes on a lot of other people's projects, and then we started on East City's project, and then so I'm leading up to the question.
Okay.
So as we started on all of these things, and then we started work on the compilation, the second compilation. You know what I mean? And I get into these grooves, man. Like I get into these grooves where the pen is just moving. it's just moving. Like I go
Floating.
through seasons where I can't figure anything out, and then I go through these seasons, man, where the pen just starts to move, and I cannot stop the pen from moving, right? And so, and then we had Clint Taylor, who came on board last year, and who's incredible. You know what I mean? Shout out to Clint Taylor. So what happened was is between Clint and then Timo, another producer named Timo, who you're gonna learn about more, came on board. Alex Turner came on board, who's another producer. So what happened was is these guys plus Henny P, the A&R, shout out to Henny P, they started sending me beats, right? Just randomly, just sending me beats, and the beats were so fire that I couldn't stop writing to them. And then we came up with this idea to flood the market at the end of the year where everybody would drop multiple albums. It wasn't even, like an album. Everybody would drop multiple albums. Yeah. And I want to include 110 in that mix too. DJ 110 as far as the beats, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. How can you forget 110? Jesus Christ.
So another incredible producer. So they just started sending me beats. And, man, I just could not stop writing. So my 2 albums... That was just my 2. Beast dropped 4.
Yeah. He was on the road. He was on the road with that one.
That was my 2 albums. Beast dropped 4. Smitty dropped his solo, and then he dropped one with the Itis.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Then we dropped the compilation, and then 110 dropped the mixtape. So we call it the Dente. And so, it was just part of the whole thing of flooding the market at the end of the year. And I hadn't done a project since March, so I had a lot to say. And to be perfectly honest with you, my music runs about a year and a half behind between when I do it and when the public gets it. Like the way the cycle goes, is I'm always working, so but it takes a while, right, for things to get through the system of coming out, and so by the time. I have been working on LBrick Road since probably all year, like just kind of touching on it, you know what I mean, here and there. And then I finished it at the end. And Announcements Are Overrated came, I think probably Clint Taylor inspired the feel like of that album.
Yeah,
like the song I did for it was produced by him. And so I started looking for music that would match the energy of the joints that he did. And that's where it came from.
Yeah, you actually said that before, that Clint Taylor has been giving you some of your best music since, and they even shows too on LBrick Road. Announcements Are Overrated too. Like, damn, yo.
Sure, and that's dope because so I'm a producer first, creatively, right? I don't make beats every day anymore. But I produce all my content, and I try to produce people, and so as a producer, what you have is an ear and an eye for talent, right? And you're able to a lot of times see it before it blossoms. You know what I'm saying? And so he was somebody that I met on social media who was really starting to make his mark, And I listened to a few of his beats, and I was really busy with something. I think it was Hello Tomorrow. I was really, really, really busy with Hello Tomorrow. And so he started, trying to kind of get at me, man. I'm not trying to big myself up, but a lot of producers reach out to me, right?
Okay.
So he was a producer that reached out to me. So I immediately heard it. It wasn't perfect yet. But I said, man, this dude right here got something. I said, hold on. I said, man, I'm really busy right now. Just give me a second. I hear you. And I said, in the meantime, let me introduce you to Smitty. And so I introduced him to Smitty. I said, man, work with Smitty because I'm really, really busy right now. But work with Smitty for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how that happened. And as time went on, he started sending me stuff, and we kept working. There's another group of producers I forgot to mention. Just Chill Beats out of the Ukraine. These Ukraine producers, Just Chill Beats, who have produced an enormous amount of content for me that the world has not heard yet. right?
Okay.
So I gotta get him a major shout to Just Chill Beats. There's another production crew out of the UK called Kill Miami. Kill Miami did the song.
I can't make this shit up.
Yeah, nah. Just Chill did. I cannot make this shit up.
Oh, okay.
Kill Miami did the song "Dope" off of Sock Monster. Yep, they did. They did "Dope" and some stuff that's getting ready to come. So yeah. So shout out to them, man. I got great producers around me. So I hope that answered that question.
Oh yeah, well it even shows too, like, because when you hear, because you know your sound, and as soon as when you hear it, you know, like, that's the one right there with some beats. I'm guessing too. When you're creating your music too, I was curious too. Do you ever like get hooked on some of your own unreleased music and you just replay it to yourself? It's like, man, I can't wait to release this when the time's right, or you don't really do that?
For sure. I was gonna ask. For sure. If it was up to me, I'd drop an album a week.
Oh,
you know what I mean? For sure. 100%, man. You talk about, let's just talk about tone beats, right?
Okay.
Like let's move everything else aside and just talk about the catalog of unheard music that I've done just with him that is amazing and that I'm trying to figure out how to put out, right? And I'm talking stuff from as far back as 2017, 2018 that I still have, that we were getting ready to do something with, and then things happened logistically and we just wasn't able to put it out. But the music still holds up. It's still fire. And I want to do something with it, but man, time just keeps moving and other projects come up and things, keep happening. So, to answer your question, yes, like there's a lot of extremely quality music in my hard drive. Sometimes I just want to go on live and just play this shit. And listen, just somebody listen to this shit, man. Like, this shit is crazy.
Is that what you've been doing with your IG from the archives? Is that like with some of the
Yeah. A lot of that stuff is so. What happened was over the past year, since the Sock Monster project, other people have been introduced to me very, by way of other things, right? Like for instance, the work I did with Swifty McVeigh and Kaniva from D12 on their album, it brought in some people that weren't normally paying attention to me. You know what I mean? So, and they were asking me for more stuff. This is weird. Like people will say stuff like, "Man, I want to hear more," and it never dawns on them to just type me into YouTube or
like go search it if you want to hear more.
Yeah, like it's not. I'm not hard to find. There's plenty of music out there, but anyway. So what would happen is I would start getting these kind of requests, and so I said, well, okay, well let me reintroduce some of this material that I think still holds up, to any new people that might be paying attention, and then kind of maybe remind other people that, they made a mental note that they wanted to go listen to that album, but maybe they never did. So let me repost this. And oddly enough, man, it happens every time. I'll be looking at my phone and, a new Bandcamp subscriber for Hello Tomorrow will come across my phone. And because I posted something, you know what I mean? And I wasn't even thinking. I just posted it, but people start to do their research and then they, you know what I mean? They find things. So yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, because when I seen that one review on your page about the LBrick Road, I was like, man, I'm so glad people are gravitating toward this project. Yeah. But before we get into that, I love how you brought up Tone Beats now too, because Tone Beats, man, like I be paying a lot of attention to Tone Beats because he makes a lot of the underground music what I listen to.
Sure.
So when I hear him and All Hair YT, I'm not too sure if you checked out some of his stuff with him too. Man, I would love to hear you YT over a Tone Beats track too, because his history that he kind of has with the whole DJ Clue and him revamping himself, it's kind of this. You guys have similar upcomings when it comes to your artistry too. That's why when I think of you two on the same track over with Tone Beats, I'm like, man, these dudes would probably make some fire.
Hey, Tone Beats, hook that up.
I asked him. I won't front.
See,
I asked him. I'm like,
Tone know. For me, that's easy. It's nothing. Like he knows it, man. I'm always down for a challenge. You know what I mean? I'm always down to mix in with some other great artists, man. There's not really too much I can't mix in with. You know what I mean? It's very rare if I say, man, I don't want no parts of that shit. Yeah. Most of the time, man, I can get in there, man, and work some things out. But that would be exciting. You know, their first project together came out the day Turn to Your Neighbor came out.
Really?
I don't know if you know that. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
The day Turn to Your Neighbor came out was the day their first album came out together too.
That's kind of crazy the way that you actually think about it when you put it in perspective like that.
And it happened by coincidence. Tone he been did that project with him. And it just so happens that he chose that day to drop it. You know what I mean? And ours was dropping the same day. So yeah, but yeah, I'm down, man. I'm down.
Okay. Always. Yeah, because one day I just hit him in DM because I was listening to a lot of All Hair YT and a lot of your old stuff, Defocus. I was like, yo, do you have any unreleased Mark Sarks and All Hair YT? I was like, no, but that would be fire. I was like, all right, I'll bring that up next time I talk to Mark. And we did. So shout out to Tone Beats, man. I hope that comes out. So you having like a lot of new people following you too. I noticed too with your recent collaborations too. We'll get into that after. I was curious because you kind of went off social media for a bit when all of this fire music was coming out, especially from your hometown. So I was kind of curious on your reaction when you heard Eminem's album.
I enjoyed it, and it was one of my favorite Eminem albums in a long time. I wouldn't even say a long time because I enjoy Kamikaze. I would say Kamikaze and what is it? Music to Get Killed By.
Music to Be Murdered By. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed them a lot. I actually knew about that album.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I knew about it. And in fact, a lot of people think that the Juice WRLD thing came after he died, and it didn't. Like he had that. He had that already. They collaborated on that for real.
Oh, so he was alive when he did that. Oh shit.
Yeah. Yep. I knew about that. But yeah, man, I'm look, man, respect to Eminem, man. Like I said, I really enjoyed Kamikaze. I really enjoyed his latest album, man. Shout out to him. You know what I mean? Everybody in Detroit that had a part in that.
I was just happy to see Royce and Crook on that. I was like, oh shit.
Sure.
So if you actually like, you know, having like a well in tune with the music itself now too, when you listen to like some of your old music from from Defocus until now, what's like the biggest thing that you say to yourself, like the growth, or like does something else come to you when you listen to the two? Because I'm pretty sure you listen to your old stuff.
I don't listen to Defocus music.
No?
Nah, I don't, because I hear all of the reasons I didn't do what I wanted to do. You know, I was very so the way my career went was it went artist, producer, artist.
Okay.
Right? Like
back and
so
forth.
Yeah. So at that particular iteration of my creative journey, when the music that you're speaking on, you know, where I was mentally was trying to figure out where I fit into the grand scheme of things. I didn't really know. It was a low time in my life where man, I didn't really. I thought it might be over for me during Defocus, right? Like I thought that it maybe things were coming to an end. Maybe things were winding down, and the time I put into it at that particular time, it was kind of like a woe is me era.
Okay.
You know, in my opinion, you know, it was a woe is me era, man. I was putting a lot of energy into the production, but as an artist, you know, the voice that I had, the things I was talking about, not necessarily on like some of the projects like Herman Gardens and stuff like that, but on a lot of the other stuff, man, I just felt like I was complaining a little bit too much. I was really down in the ditch, man. I didn't really know what the hell was going on. A lot of my initial things when I came to Atlanta, a lot of great things happened when I got here.
Yeah.
And then it just came to an abrupt stop. You know, like it came to an abrupt stop, and I didn't know what to do. You know, and so I feel like when I hear that music,
it takes
I
you
hear
back.
The angst. Yeah, like I hear the angst in the music at that particular time of just not knowing where the hell I wanted to go with what I wanted to do. You know.
Are you a big believer in destiny?
Maybe in some things. Maybe. I mean, there was a season in my life that I did believe in that. I believe more so in energy now. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I believe in vibes, man. Energy, and you kind of everything that happens in your life, you attract it to yourself, and but a lot of what you're attracting, most of what you attract in your life has to do with you putting out. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I believe, you know. And so everything that ever happened, I can tell you that there's not many things that happen in my life, including right now talking to you, that I did not speak into existence. Like every last bit of it. And so even this particular conversation right here. Oh, hold on 1 second, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm in the interview with Lo. It's okay. What you got?
Mine was saying that I had some gloves, but I think that changed.
Gloves?
Gloves.
Yeah. Why you look like a beekeeper? All right.
I gotta do what I gotta do when I go out today.
I got you.
I gotta keep
gloves. All right.
No, black.
Black? Okay.
They gonna be the
good to hear y'all being
safe.
safe.
So, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
It's good to hear y'all being safe.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I even forget what I was saying now too. But what I was gonna say next though, when you're coming together with your music now too, like when you play it back now too, like do you like with your bonus tracks too? Because I noticed you have bonus tracks for Announcements Overrated and LBrick Road. Like, did you have to like think about like not putting those on the streaming sites? Because I know those exist.
Yeah, there's as many songs that are on Announcements Are Overrated. There's songs recorded for that didn't make it. You know what I mean? The same for LBrick Road. You know, they just didn't. You know, they didn't. What the point in creating the album was that they would be short but powerful. You know, like that was the whole thing. I wanted them to be short, but not too short. But and powerful, like every single thing you heard hit you. I didn't really want you to have to think too hard about, you know, whether or not you like this song. You know what I mean? I tried to, even the song lengths were not very long, and you know all of that was on purpose. You know, so yeah.
Well, the reason why I bring that up too, and now too, and then what we were talking about before, it kind of leads all into this now too about destiny and energy now too. When I listen to Arrested Development's music and Speech's music too, and then I go back and listen to your music now, I kind of say to myself, I'm like, I somewhat get it now, because like ever since I watched that Hoodwink documentary, like I had like this whole new awakening of the shit that I used to love. And it was just like, was this all programmed for like, you know, to destroy community? I don't know, that documentary.
So, I mean, well, yeah, I think that there can be many reasons for things, right? Okay. Like we have to allow ourselves to not get so connected to singular purposes, right? Like I know where you're coming from, and shout to Speech, man. He's become a good friend of mine, you know, and where he comes from with all of that, I think is spot on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I also think there's people in there that are just trying to get paid, man. You know what I mean? I also think there's people in there that really are telling their stories, you know, their true stories. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's many reasons. I think we get in trouble when we start prioritizing certain reasons over other reasons, because when it comes to music, when it comes to the industry, right? Like this esoteric idea of like what the industry is, it's people, man.
Yeah.
It's people. There's no robot.
There's no big building that says the industry.
Yeah, like commanding people to do certain things. There's people. And you know what? In the music business, there's people who, if not for the music business, would be in jail or dead. you know, and their main purpose for being in the music business is to hustle it until they can't hustle it anymore. And there's rules that come to hustling. You know what I'm saying? So when you begin to get hustlers that are in spots where they have control over budgets and different things like that, they're not going to care about messaging. They're not going to care about anything except
the money.
Give people what they want. And usually it's like the lowest vibration things are what get people the quickest. You know, our sex, violence. You know, and those are very like low vibration things that appeal to the humanity of all of us, right? You know what I mean? You know, even my late grandmother, who was the sweetest woman in the world, if somebody was fighting on the corner, she'd poke her head out and take a look too. You know what I'm saying? You know, because it's enticing. You know, she loved old Western movies. People, you know what I mean, shooting each other. You know, it's you know, so that's what hustlers do. That's what the hustle is to try to sell you something at the lowest vibration possible. You know, but what I just said doesn't negate, you know what I mean, what the other message is either. Like, they both true. It's all true. So for me, I have to be real careful at looking at things like that.
Is that why you gravitate to like artistry, like Ninth Wonder, Speech, like a YBN Coordinate, Royce, because they have meaning within their music and they're actually telling those stories?
So I'm selfish as an artist. Okay. Here's what I mean. I feed off of things, right? Like, things have to inspire me. Okay. And so the names you just named, I enjoy them because they inspire something in me, right? Like, I have a story I want to tell. I got a story I want to tell about myself. And so there's a way that they inspire me to tell that story inside of me before I say it out loud, right? Like, they challenge my way of thinking by listening to how they think, right? I like the people that you just named because I don't know what they're about to say. Yeah. Right? I don't know what they're about to say, so I'm glued in. I'm glued in because I don't know what the next line is going to be. I can't figure it out. I don't know. You know, that pattern is crazy. Like, where's he going with that? Ooh, mixed it in with that. Okay, you know what I mean. I'm so that's what I mean. Like so the people you just named, like I feed off of them as an artist. But then again, as a songwriter, just as a pure songwriter, forget the messaging, okay. Right? As a songwriter, I'm enjoying Tory Lanez. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy Drake. Like, I enjoy the songwriting. I enjoy it. I crack a smile. I say, man, that's okay. Like,
I see what they did.
I feel that. I feel that, you know, and so I feed off of that too. You know, when it comes to, you know, my ability to write songs for people that may not only just be listening to the lyrical wordplay, you know what I mean, but who just need a nice beat and a nice flow and just something that connects and makes them feel good. Yeah. So it's yeah. So yeah.
You see, like, we even like with the artists you just named too, like, it's okay to like some of that melodic stuff too. Like, there's nothing wrong with that too. Like, I'll be banging some trap stuff for Tory Lanez. Not much Tory Lanez as Drake, but like, you as a songwriter and a previous ghostwriter too, you actually get the art of songwriting now too, because that's an art. It's an art form that not most people know of.
100%. Nah, 100%, bro. Whether or not, you know, the difference between, man, I don't want to name any names, but
you can just say that artist.
So Kendrick Lamar, right?
Okay.
Is an amazing lyricist.
Yeah.
Okay. He's now as equally an amazing songwriter, right? You listen to the songs on Damn, and then you listen to the songs on Good Kid, Mad City. Yeah. I like Good Kid, Mad City better because of the content and the beats and how it feel, right?
How it flows.
Right. But he took a shot at radio on Good Kid, Mad City with it's called Drinks or whatever that song is.
Swimming Pools.
Yeah, Swimming Pools.
Yeah.
That was his shot at writing something that maybe more people would get into.
And they
did. It was okay. It was okay. Now, you move to Damn, and you listen to a song like Loyalty, with Rihanna or Love.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's a different songwriter. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, therefore, Damn is a more complete package of music to sell, is what I'm trying to say. That's what when I talk about songwriting, that's what I mean. Now again, I enjoy Good Kid, Mad City better. You know what I mean? But the songwriting of Damn is different. But my favorite Kendrick Lamar album is To Pimp a Butterfly.
I kind of figured. I was gonna say a lot of people.
That's my favorite one, but it's my favorite one because I listened to it recently, and I'm still finding things I didn't hear before. And he nailed the concept to the freaking wall. Like he took this concept, man, and he squeezed it for everything it had, man. And so I just, man, that thing should be in the Smithsonian, man. Like it is a piece of art, man.
It's actually in Harvard, at one of the highest universities for the songwriting and that too. And he took a big risk for his sophomore album on a major label with that Pimp a Butterfly. For sure. And that's what you expect from somebody of that caliber. You expect him. He needs to. For me, the artist that's coming up that is looking at art on a higher level, I need him to take risks. I need him to do it. He has to do it, right? He has to do it because it shines the light in a direction for me, and it gives me more hope, in terms of what might be able to organically come from me. So I need him to keep taking shots. I need him to keep doing that. He picked up from where, say, like Andre 3000 left off. You know what I'm saying? In terms of pushing the envelope, with music and stuff like that, in my opinion. I never thought of it like that until you put it in that perspective now, because everybody was waiting for that Andre 3000 solo. When you just put in that, I was like, oh, so I'm going to go back and listen to that discography different today too. And like, I'm glad you brought up that album now too. Near the end, one of my favorite tracks ever by Kendrick is called Mortal Man. It's because of the outro.
Yes. Now, beautiful done.
What did you think of that outro?
What'd you say?
What did you think of the outro when you first heard it?
Almost cried.
That's understandable.
Because I almost cried at the end when Pac went away. Yeah. Because I remember him going away the first time. Yeah. And hurt when he went away. And I have and we'll talk about it in future interviews, my relationship with Tupac's music and his character is a very difficult one for me to nail down, because I'm much older than he was now than when he died. He's older than me, but I was, fairly young when he passed. But now that I'm much older than him, I more so understand the mind of a guy in his mid-20s, even though he was that immensely talented and had so much to offer the world. He made a couple of decisions that made it so where he's not here anymore. I always feel like he should still be here. If not for a couple of decisions, maybe he'd still be here, And so I'm always in a tug of war about him, but I miss him and I miss his presence. And he was in his album, Me Against the World, is one of the reasons why I even became an artist to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So I have a very conflicted relationship when it comes to that. So when I heard him talking to him, and then Kendrick says pop, like right at the end. Yeah. Man, I just choked up. You know what I'm saying? So it was amazing. It was amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah, because you got to experience that time when he was with us now, as opposed to somebody who never was even in tune with that now, so it
Right.
hits you differently.
Right. Again, it directly affected my decision to be an artist.
Yeah.
Right. Like directly, it was Common and it was Tupac.
Yeah.
You know, watching, listening to them express themselves. More other artists at that particular time in the early '90s were way more colorful. It was a lot more going on around that time in a good way, but they were just way more colorful.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that colorful. I wasn't that way. But these guys had a very unique way of,
you know what I'm saying,
speaking. Yeah. So they taught me that I could have a voice. You know.
I was gonna say, man, because man, you do use your voice to like, because that is one of your gifts, man. Because like, I can hear you spit some of the hardest bars, and then I can hear you nail one of the craziest hooks ever, like the My Why. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. When I heard that, I was like, wow, man, like this guy. I don't know how this guy is not like as big as Drake. I always every time when I hear something new by you and it just blows, I'm like, how the fuck is he not as big as Drake Kendrick? But like, but meaning of that.
That's how the chips fall, man. I think timing. A Japanese guy named Chris Lennon taught me back in the early 2000s about timing. And I was in a rush to do a lot of things, and he introduced to me the concept of timing and how you can be doing the right thing, but at the wrong time and around the wrong people. It has to line up correctly, man. Like you can get the ears. Like I have, as a producer, I have sat with people who could have changed my life in that meeting and played the wrong beats. You know what I mean? I had the beats that they would have taken.
Yeah.
I only had so much time to play beats. And so because I wasn't in understanding of what exactly a producer was supposed to be at that time, I wanted to show them something that they weren't listening for. You know what I mean? So the timing, it was bad. Things like that happen all of the time. You get in situations, you stand in front of people who could do things for you, but you just don't have it yet, or you're not doing it's not the right time, is what I'm trying to say. I met Pharrell and had a very good conversation with him before, but it wasn't the right time. You know what I mean? Like I didn't say the right things. I didn't produce to him what I needed to produce to him in order to inspire him to want to work with me more. Right. So that's kind of what I mean by why am I not where somebody else is? Well, I mean, our stories were different. I went into the military. Yeah. So when I went into the military, the choice to go into the military was also a choice to not be here. Yeah. Right. Mixing it in and building relationships and doing things with my 20s. I gave those to the military.
Yeah. Because you're going overseas too. Like you're not even in the USA.
Right. Whereas if I was here, maybe in Atlanta on the streets of Detroit, I could have been involved with the hip hop shop and you know what I mean. But nah, I went in the military. You know what I mean. I was in Oklahoma. While these guys was battling at
the shelter.
The shelter. You know what I'm saying? So I missed it. Right. Like that was my decision. I could very well be, if I would have stayed and, got involved with that movement and all of that, I could have very well have had the opportunities Obi Trice had, or, you know what I mean? Elzai, who knows, but it was my choice to do those things.
But it's also part of your journey too, because like, if you've been paying attention to the shows, you went overseas and worked with one of the biggest hip hop artists over there.
Sure, many hip hop artists over there for sure.
Oh yeah, you definitely said the time too about when you met Chad Hugo there too. It was actually on this show. So where I'm going with this now too is because you have like very meaningful tracks that that mean a lot to Detroit. Like you have like I like to say proof tributes because both of those tracks, the Heartbroken and My Why, are proof tributes. So like I was just wondering how did that come about?
Well, so shout out to my manager LB, right? Who when I met him was managing Swifty McVeigh at that particular time and was doing a lot of road management for Crooked Eye, right? So what I did was what I should have did, which was I was very proactive.
Okay.
You know, one of my gifts is songwriting, and so those guys, and there's a reason why I brought up Crook. I get back to that in a second because it ties in,
Okay.
right? So I just started asking what they were working on. Just started asking, asking my manager like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Tells me about, and this is 2017.
Oh, cool. Wow.
He's telling me, well, Kniva and Swift are working on the album. They just started working on the album. Actually, it was a mixtape.
Okay.
The plan was to do like a mixtape and then do album and stuff like that. And so I had did a couple of beats for Swifty McVeigh's album, Grey Blood, right? He put out an album called Grey Blood. That's where our creative relationship actually started, was during Grey Blood. In between Grey Blood and the Swifty and Kniva thing, Swifty begins work on an autobiography.
Okay.
Right? He starts on an autobiography. It's called The Seventh Seal, I believe. No,
Yeah.
it's called. Oh shoot.
Oh, hang on. Oh, got it right here.
What it's called. But it's his. I think it's the Seventh Seal or the Sixth Seal, something like that.
I'll pull it up, my Jesus.
No, take it to.
But yeah, as you were saying, though.
And so I hear that Swifty is working on this autobiography, and so I also was it? Did you find it?
7 Star.
7 Star. I'm sorry, it's called the 7 Star. It's available now. If anybody that wants to check that out,
I'll put it for the people to see if y'all can see that.
That's it. So music came with that, right? He's gonna put out a soundtrack to that. So, and again, he's already working on it, right? Like he's already working on it, and actually had already taken a beat from me for it. Okay. He used one of my beats on there too. And then I asked my manager about the music. I said, he got any Detroit songs in there? And he said, nah. I said, okay. I said, give me a day. And I went and I wrote the What Up Though song. You know what I mean? I did a hook. I did a hook, and actually I had 2 verses, but I did a hook and a verse. And I said, send it over. I said, send that to him. I said, he's gonna use that. You know what I mean? So,
he did. He did.
You know what I mean? Now, mind you, he wasn't asking me for this. Like, it wasn't like he was saying, yo, I asked him to send me something. Like, nah. Yeah. I just sent it over immediately. He was like, yeah, I want this. Okay, cool. So then it was like, well, this is dope, but we should probably get somebody else on it. He was like, well, who should we get on it? I was like, well, shit. Is he cool with Obi Trice? He was like, yeah. I was like, well, ask him to give Obi Trice. So this ties back to what I was saying earlier about speaking things into existence, right? Because I just knew that this was a thing that needed to happen. And so it happened. So what that did is it opened up a relationship between me and Swifty to where he was very open and susceptible to things I would just send him, right? Okay. So after the autobiography was done, I said, well, what's working on? What are they working on now? He said, well, they're getting a mixtape together. I said, okay, I'm gonna send some stuff over. So this is the end of 2017, 2018, and so he says, well, Swifty has this song called Backstabbers or something like that. It didn't have a chorus on it, but he was talking about Proof. It just had his verse. Okay. On a beat. It was just a Swifty McVeigh verse on a beat called Backstabbers. I heard it. I was like, oh, I know exactly what to do. Threw the hook on there, and then and I sent it back, and I said, well, I'm gonna send him another one too. So then I did Heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? And I just sent him over, and that's how that came together. It took a long time. But and they went through a lot of music with a lot of people right?
Yeah.
But those songs, they just stuck. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a testament to the realism that's in those records. You know, that those stuck, and so that's how those came together. You know what I mean? Shout out to Conniver too. You know what I'm saying? He showed me a lot of love. Yeah.
Man, those are timeless right there too. Like, and like a lot of people too, like when they hear that too, like they must like be like, wow, like this dude is ill, and like I bet you a lot of people will hit you up like, yo, I found you on this song with
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I got some of that, and that's it. Those both produced by Just Chill Beats too. The guys I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Yeah,
Damn.
both produced by Just Chill Beats.
Okay. Now, like even with like being like a Detroit, you're born in Detroit, and like now like speaking things into existence now too, being based off the energy now too, like you because like you have pictures and then you even have like video of him like playing your album to him, but now like you actually have
Roy?
Yeah, you actually have a song like produced by him now.
Yeah.
So what's that feeling like knowing like, because you once said like I'll probably would never get to work with Eminem, but you probably will in this lifetime. But you said I got to work with Royce. When you heard that finished product of like that song you sent me now, like what was like that feeling? Were you overwhelmed or were you like happy like that like you finally got to work with somebody you always wanted to work with, like solo-y now? Because I know that it's a family business.
Yeah. Well, what a lot of people don't know is I worked on the Allegory, right?
Oh,
like
shit.
So when people make albums, they make a lot of songs. Albums go through different changes and different things like that. Well, there was a season of the Allegory where I was helping. I was, writing choruses and you know what I mean, and doing different things like that. And so that's kind of how Royce got to know me creatively. I did a couple of things with Family Business.
Yeah.
That was cool, but the stuff for the Allegory, it was just me and him. You know what I mean? Different ideas he had, different things I was turning in, and it was all dope. Like I really wish that my fingers was crossed that I would wind up on that album. But it's amazing just to even have the opportunity to say that I got a chance to work on it. So I appreciate the big homie just for that. But really, man, out of the entire scenario with Royce, man, to answer your question, I don't have words. Like I can't even tell you what it feels like. Like it's surreal, right? It's surreal, and I spoke that into existence too. Like I knew he would produce for me. Like I just did, and so when he sent me the track, he just sent it to me on a random Wednesday. You know what I mean? And the name of the beat was MRKSX. And so okay, and so I did my thing to it, but yeah, man, that's the big homie, man. That's the big homie, man. He showed me a lot of love that he didn't have to, and he is my favorite MC of all time. He was before this. I've had a top 5 MC list for a long time, and him and Crook were on it, and I've been able to work with both of them. And I don't know how many people can actually say that. You know what I mean? In my position, man. And so it is a surreal thing to not only meet him, but to meet him with a reputation that preceded me.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to prove myself to him necessarily. You know what I mean? I came to him. He already respected what I was doing.
Like he already knew who you were.
So that was amazing. Like the entire thing, man, was amazing. I think it came out even better than he thought it would come out. To be honest with you.
See, this is why I love when artists do interviews now too, because like what you just said now, you got that on a random Wednesday. Like I bet you that caught you so off guard. Like, whoa.
Very off guard. Well, not off guard in the sense that he would send me music. You know what I mean? He might hit me, at midnight, and be like, man, I got something I want to send you. I want to see if you can do something with it. You know what I mean? Which was kind of what the process of me working on the Allegory was, here's somebody, let me see what you can do with this, And so it wasn't out of the ordinary that he would send me some music. It was out of the ordinary that he would send me some music with it being titled my name, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where my name would be the name of the beat. And so it was like, okay, maybe that was his way of saying, yo, I see you. You know what I mean? Let me just try and see, where you take this opportunity. So that's what I did with it.
Tell you one thing, now you thought your DMs were lit. Now wait till you release that track.
Well, I mean, look, man, it is a dream come true, and dreams do come true. And hopefully, my hope is that people who, for a moment in time, perhaps people that wouldn't normally care will care. You know what I mean? And we'll find out that that's not even the tip of the iceberg, in terms of what I'm bringing to the table, So we'll see. And it's going to be followed up by the name of the song we talking about is called Good Life. That's dropping this week. And when is it dropping? It all depends on the distributor, whenever they can get it to the different platforms. But there's a project immediately following it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a project immediately following it, which is the first of many that'll come out. I'm being careful because my mantra is announcements are overrated.
Yeah, I understand. You don't want to say too much.
No, I mean, but people need, but there are people that are curious about what I'm doing. So I think it only fair, we are, however long into this interview, if you're still listening, then maybe you got love for the kids. So I'll go ahead and tell you, that there are a series of projects that will come out this year. Okay. And I mean a series of them. Right. And so I am crafting my catalog right now. If you want to know what I'm doing, meaning anybody that's curious about what happens now, I'm now about to go through the catalog, a lot of catalog crafting. And I need to show you who I am as an artist. I've not really done that yet. I've given you glimpses into what the possibilities could be. Yeah. But this is the year that I show you what I can do as an artist. Like I'm going to, there will be projects that you are going to be surprised to hear. There's going to be styles of music and different things that I just never showed you before. Okay. But I'm going to, because I've been maybe scared or not really sure how you take it, but I'm going to give it to you this year. And so they coming in what I call episodes. Okay. So episode one is going to drop next week, right? They're going to run episodes all year, but the title of the project is the 40-year-old rapper, right? Oh. And so and there are episodes. There's going to be episodes, and episode 1 is coming next week. That's when it's coming.
Shit. I can't wait to hear it because I already know you can do different styles now too. But when you said like that style we never heard you from, that's good, man.
For sure, 100%, like 100%. And that has a lot to do with the music. Timo,
fire producer.
Yeah, my guy Timo is a certain type of producer, right? So he challenged me as a songwriter to meet him where he was. Okay. And over time, meeting him there, it blossomed into this great creative relationship where it's a real no holds barred approach to songwriting, and some of it's gonna feel like I'm chasing radio, right? Like some of it's gonna feel like I'm chasing radio. Well, the answer to that is yes, I'm chasing radio with those particular songs and the particular projects that will feel like that. But if you trust me as an artist, you got to take a listen to what I'm doing because the integrity is going to be there, right? Oh, so don't get thrown off because it sounds Afrobeat or it sounds trap or it sounds, you know what I mean? Whatever. Listen to what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because you might like it, right? Like you might say, "Oh wow, I didn't think I would like this," but that's right, I like this artist, so why wouldn't I like it? So I'm gonna put you in a real weird spot this year. I'm gonna put you in even you personally. Okay. I'm gonna put you I'm gonna put you in an awkward spot a couple of times with some of the music that comes out because it's not necessarily stuff you would listen to in your own time, but you're going to be stuck listening to this music.
Yeah, I can't wait for this now. Jeez.
So, but that's just those particular projects. But you'll hear things that sound like LBrick Road, things that sound like a bounce. Okay. You know what I mean? There's gonna be portions where only one producer did the whole thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Tone Beats and I are gonna come back together again this year and do something. You know what I mean? So there's a lot coming, man. There's a lot coming.
And like even like to like you said, there's a lot coming too. There's a lot like this is gonna be your year because even Speech, when I asked him about this too, you're on his lead single for his expansion project coming out.
Yes. Speech is a really good guy, man. Like, and an incredible artist and a much better rapper than people probably think. And understand from his hits, the guy can really spit, man.
Southern Pioneer. They don't get mentioned enough, like with Outkast or like Gertie Mob, because they came before that.
Right. And I would say in some ways inspired, which we wound up seeing. You know what I mean, in terms of how they were presented, how the Dungeon family presented themselves. You know,
especially Andre 3000. With the melodies and how speech. Because when I was listening to Speech, I was like, wow, you could tell Andre 3000 was inspired by him, either he admits it or not. Because when you listen to the music and the artistry, I was like, wow, like either Andre,
seems it's now. You know, when you look back at it. But yeah, man, I met Speech as a producer.
Yeah.
You know, I produced another crazy thing. You know what I mean? I was a huge Arrested Development fan. You know what I'm saying? And on Arrested Development's last album, I believe it was, I think it's their last album as a group, I produced both singles off of it. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then Speech had another solo project that came out. This is a few years back. When I was just producing. I wasn't even an artist. I was still defocused.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so then I wound up doing something for a solo project of his. And then we just kept in touch, man. We just kept in touch. And then to be able to share some mic time with him was a dream come true too. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy I literally grew up listening to. You know, I'm a huge fan of him and everything he's done, and to have like a mutual respect between, you know what I mean, artistically, you know, is amazing. You know what I mean? It's been very easy to have a relationship with him, and we share a lot of the same vibes. You know what I mean? He's much more advanced in the business than I am.
Yeah.
He's an open book to me, man. He's been an open book to me, man. So I really appreciate it.
Right. Just to hear like that too, like you were a huge Arrested Development fan too, like and like to hear that story about like you sending him that beat 6 years ago and he never wound up using it at the time, and then now after all these years later he's using it, like that's
a testament to good music.
Yeah, I was
you know what I'm saying? Like that's a testament to you know, when something is what it is, it will always be that.
Did you hear what he said about that beat?
Nah, what did he say about the beat?
He said that's one of the best fucking hip hop beats I've ever heard in my life.
That's crazy, man. And I appreciate him for that. Look, man, but when it came to making beats, I was very good at it.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
I was very, very good at it. I learned how to become very good at it, and I don't do it because it's more of a time thing. I just don't have the time I used to have to sit and obsess, because I was an obsessive producer. Like I obsessed over the sounds and I obsessed over things. And you know, these days I don't have the time to obsess over a drum kick all day. Like I haven't, you know what I mean? Because it will bother me in my sleep. I will wake up at 3 a.m. because I would feel like, you know, a kick was too low, or you know what I mean?
It's like I need to go fix this.
Yeah, man. and I have to be working on 5 beats at a time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was obsessive. So I had to stop. I had to stop, man. And most of my relationships in Atlanta were made because of producing. But I had to stop, man, and concentrate on myself as an artist. But now look at me, man. I got this crew of amazing producers around me that I'm able to even take my years of beat making and help just because I understand what they're doing.
Yeah. Like you get it because you've done that.
Sure, 100%. That's why me and Tone Beats took off so fast, because he had things he wanted to do stylistically with his production, but the artists didn't understand it.
Yeah, they didn't get it at the time.
They didn't get it. They didn't get what he was doing. They could listen to it as a piece of art, but they couldn't hear themselves on it. You know what I mean? But me, because I understood what he was doing, I could do it. Like I understand exactly where I fit, into the grand scheme of things. So yeah, so that's definitely with him. You know what I mean? And with Clint Taylor, man. Listen, man. You guys are witnessing. You guys will talk about Clint Taylor how you talk about Ninth Wonder. Like the way you talk about Ninth Wonder today, the way the reverence people give him, and the way they understand him as a producer, you will talk about Clint Taylor in that way. You know what I mean? It's going to happen, man.
And I like how you see that in him so early too now too, because you recognize like a lot of people early on.
For sure. That's part of being a producer. You're supposed to have the ear.
And then, when people start referencing him as Ninth Wonder, you can just pull up in your phone, like, that dude gave me some of my best music when he was just starting out.
I got some crazy Ninth Wonder stories too, man, but that's for another time, man. Like,
and one photo you posted of him, and you said, how important God steps on is? Like, no, I don't. I was like, that's such a typical Ninth Wonder answer. Because he seems so laid back. He's like, no, I don't.
Right. Exactly, man. Exactly.
Shout to Tech and General Steel. I got to know those gents over the past 2 years of my life, and I can see why Ninth works with them. They're very humble individuals.
For sure.
So without further introductions, y'all gonna see more of this guy musically, interview-wise. 2020 is gonna be his. I'm just gonna preach into the universe right now because I've been recognized his talent from the very first time I ever heard him on My Lady, and when I finally got that solo EP from him, I'm like, holy shit, this is what we've been waiting for. But now,
yeah, man.
Now we're gonna get like the biggest year of your career, I think, because
100%. 100%.
I like how you sound just confidence now too, because you have a strong team that believes in you, and you are gonna have the best year of your career. So we can't wait to see the reaction.
I say that also because I know what's coming. So when you see this smile, and I'm not even talking about the stuff I'm doing for myself, I'm talking about the things that I've collaborated with other people that I know is coming. So when you say this is going to be the biggest year, like I agree. I agree. And I'm going to put up some numbers with my own stuff this year, and it's gonna be a great year, man. It's gonna be a great year.
And you're a man of many surprises now, so I can't wait.
It's a great year, brother.
So with that being said, this is the most documented artist on the show. Said y'all gonna be seeing more of him. This is the 6th, but not his last appearance. The legendary, the humble man, producer, artist, visionary himself, Mark Suggs. Is there anything that you would like to let the people know before I let you go?
I think that a lot of the artists that you interview that don't go share the fact that you interviewed them are some suckers. I think that's some sucker shit that they don't go tell their followers that you have interviewed them. And I know why they do it, and that's some sucker shit because we all start from somewhere. And it's not fair that they don't do that. That's the last thing I want to say.
Man, I was a little bit discouraged at times, but after hearing that, I just gotta keep going because it's like what you said. I love doing what I do.
Yeah, no, you're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep doing what you're doing. I'm just saying. From me to every artist that you interview that will listen to this, and they don't go off and share the fact that they interviewed with you, is some sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah, and just the way it is sometimes. But hey, I'm glad that, you know, I got a strong team behind me too, because I wouldn't want to be if anyone else besides DatFeelin.
DatFeelin Podcast Network, man. DFPN, man. Y'all follow that.
And y'all need to check out some of the podcasts on there too, like Mr. Fuck You on Me, what have you, rolling.
Exactly.
So with that being said, this is another classic interview from the Desk Low, featuring the guy himself, Mark Sarks, Michigan Rapkin, MRK Sarks. Goes by a lot of aliases, but you'll be seeing more of him soon.